The exhibition that is currently at Católica, por ser a terra muito calmosa, curated by Luisa Santos and Ana Fabiola Mauricio. I decided to donate the piece that is behind me to the university, and we're going to hear a bit more about it today. A replica or a reinterpretation of an ancient drawing that shows a Portuguese settler family on the island of Ormuz dining while submerged in water. The illustration originally is a colorful illustration that comes from Códice Casanatense. For me, it was a very important kind of initial departure point for a series of research that I did on the island of Ormuz and the kind of presence of Portuguese colonial actors in the region. Obviously, in a contemporary context, it has a significant reading as well, considering that the title, Because the Land is Too Hot, is directly in conversation with global warming today, and how a lot of these island nations and island kind of settlements in the archipelago of the Strait of Hormuz, but also in the Indian Ocean and the Sea of Oman, will soon experience catastrophic flooding events.
O famoso Códice da Biblioteca Casanatense é uma coleção de 76 fólios, onde se expõe uma fantástica representação dos povos do Oriente. Esta biblioteca foi inaugurada em 1701 e tem na sua coleção mais de 5.000 manuscritos do Renascimento, entre eles este manuscrito português, chamado manuscrito 1889, onde vamos encontrar, portanto, uma representação dos povos com quem os portugueses contataram no Oriente. O artista destes desenhos policromados, que seria um autor português, uma vez que as legendas que acompanham estas gravuras estão escritas em língua portuguesa. Hoje, sabemos, está profundamente estudado e reconhecido numa atenta e cuidadosa análise dos vários fólios, que se trata de um artista indiano, mas com conhecimentos também do mundo mongol e até do saber fazer luso-goês. Este conjunto, então, de imagens espraia-se de uma forma inédita e nada conhecida até então, não existe nada de semelhante nesta altura, neste período, espalha-se desde a África até a Ásia. Portanto, nós vamos ter representações desde a Índia ao Irão, do Ceilão à China, de Moçambique à Arábia. E este trabalho é um trabalho minucioso de representação, geralmente, curiosamente, de homens e mulheres. Muitas vezes até muitas das imagens, das ilustrações, são um casal, que nos mostram, portanto, hábitos, usos, costumes, vivências, costumes rituais, gentílicos, profissões. Também temos aqui exatamente grande informação das profissões, desde soldados a ourives, a corsários, entre muitas outras. Outro aspecto muito interessante neste códice, e é o caso por ser a terra muito calmosa, é representar portugueses. Também não existia até então essa representação de portugueses, como nós vemos aqui em Ormuz, mas também acontece em relação a Goa. E, portanto, nós estamos perante um documento inédito, de uma qualidade histórico-cultural de grande relevância, de grande importância, uma peça fundamental para o estudo das culturas asiáticas no século XVI.
the Strait of Hormuz, historically, but also in a contemporary context, is very significant in terms of the logistics of trade and the amount of commodities that pass through this very narrow strait. What is interesting about the creation of this piece is that it was fabricated in Isfahan by a master ceramicist, Mohammad Mokhtarian, and then it came to Europe, to Portugal specifically, through my friends who would carry, a few tiles at a time in order to bring it here. The reason we had to do that is that because of the American and international sanctions against Iran, it's next to impossible to use any kind of logistics company to ship things at a reasonable price. The fact that none of these international companies are operating in Iran makes it extremely difficult to engage in trade, and the fact that this kind of the complex political and social fabric that is very much dominating the Iranian scene right now is represented in the logistics of making this all together. So specifically, I was interested in leaving this piece here at Católica, primarily because I know a lot of researchers who study and work here have an interest in trade and trade routes, knowing that the economics and the business faculties are here, and they also obviously have an interest in commodities. So to bring a piece like this and the context of its fabrication to Católica was interesting for me, even if it's like a casual encounter on a daily basis. Just to see it in the hallway, it brings into focus the very complex history of trade-centric geographies, and to understand contemporary struggles that exist around them. I'm hoping that leaving this piece in Católica permanently would also encourage people to follow the piece as a narrative thread, so there would be interest in reading up on the story or the literature that Louise and Fabiola created alongside the exhibition. So this piece and the neon work in conjunction with it that says, the text that came with the illustration are going to be a very interesting encounter. So it's for me also very important to hear people's feedback, and hopefully I will in the future.